Hello and welcome to Payday Rewind 2020. In this video, we're going to be taking a look back at everything that happened in the world of Payday, from Payday 2 DLC to Payday 3 news and everything in between, reflecting on the year we've had and catching people up on the things that you might have missed. I know 2020 may have been a bad year for us in the outside world, but that doesn't mean that we haven't had some great moments in the things we enjoy. So kick back, relax, and let's look back on the past 12 months in the Payday universe. And let's begin Payday Rewind. Roll the intro. So 2020 has just begun, and to kick things off on the 9th of January, we saw an update added to Payday 2 on PC. That didn't add anything. Instead, all it did was remove the decorations and snow from Hoxton Breakout and Breaking Feds, introduced in the previous December 2019 Christmas update. It was a bit of a shame to see an update only remove content and not actually add anything, and I'm really hoping that Overkill are not going to repeat this in this coming January when they remove all the decorations and bonuses we're currently enjoying as this year comes to an end. 1 week later, on January 16th, consoles saw an update as Xbox One and PS4 received a series of crash and bug fixes for the game, but no new content. Some of the fixes added included preventing a soft lock on the end screen with a high payday on something such as Overdrill, fixing turret-related crashes, and updating Bonnie's neck. Anyway, it was nice to see consoles get an update only a month after the previous content drop, although not seeing any actual new content was a shame. Still, a bug-fixing update is better than no update at all, eh? While things in the outside world began to derail, Payday 2 stepped up its game as anticipation for the second chapter of the Silk Road campaign continued to build. Firstly, however, an announcement was released on February 20th discussing upcoming changes to the safes and skins system, wherein safes and drills would be retired in the next Payday 2 update, and that once a week you'd simply get a free weapon skin after completing a heist. Not long after, an ARG event took place in which an audio message from Locke had to be decoded, and after spending hours upon hours watching Twitch streamers trying to decode this message using various audio programs, a special recording from Vlad was decoded, announcing his return to the Payday world, which was followed not long after by the release of the first major DLC content update in 2020 on February 27th. The second chapter of Silk Road, subtitled Cartel Business, included 4 DLC packs: the San Martin Bank Heist, Taylor Pack number 2, the Federalis Weapon Pack, and the first Weapon Colour Pack. As an overall update, this was fairly strong, even if I personally wasn't as keen on the Taylor Pack as some players were. But if you want to know more of my thoughts, feel free to check out my Silk Road review video linked on screen now and in the description. That wasn't the only big thing to happen in February though, as just 1 day later some pretty big news finally became public. Overkill announced their partnership program, sharing the first 4 creators to be revealed as part of the program, who now had a direct port of contact with Overkill, as well as a source of DLC codes for giveaways and some early access to news on content updates. And it's still ridiculously awesome and humbling to say that I am one of those 4 creators, and it has been an absolute honour to be recognised in such a way, and I've only got all of you to thank for that. Yeah, nothing really happened in March, unless you count a hotfix patch for last month's update, which you really shouldn't, and I'm not going to. I try and fill this month with something interesting that happened in my own life, just so there's something here, but the UK went into lockdown in March, so at this point I had about as little going on in my life as Payday did. Oh well, we move. April was actually a pretty big month for Payday, with several key events happening over the span of those 30 days. On the very first day, we saw the official announcement for Payday's next mobile game, Payday Go. Inspired by the massively popular Pokemon Go, this game was designed to simulate Payday 2's gameplay whilst on the move, allowing you to be able to always enjoy some Payday action wherever you are. And it was also completely and utterly fake. Seriously, for those of you who still think this was real, I'd encourage you to check the upload date of the video, and remember, never trust anything on the internet on April 1st, it really should be obvious by now. Apparently my video actually persuaded some people into thinking this game was real, including one of my friends, who sent me this on Snapchat, and it still makes me laugh to this day. Either way, it was a blast to put so much effort into a gag like this, and it was my first proper collaboration with Overkill Software since the partnership had been announced. So that was pretty cool, but as far as Payday mobile games go, all we really need is an update on the publisher for Payday Crime War, just like the one we need for Payday 3. Once Crime War gets a new publisher, that game will be able to be re-released, and we'll have a Payday mobile game that we can actually play on the go. But the following day, on April 2nd, consoles received another update on Xbox One and PlayStation 4. But sadly, once again, this one was pretty underwhelming, and this time it only had one item in the patch notes. Version 1.5.2, quote, fixed a rendering crash bug in the engine. And that was it. The same defense I had for January's update stands of at least we got something rather than nothing, but with no word from Goris of new console content, Mikhail Nermark's statement at the end of 2019 about the potential of no more console updates was beginning to look more like reality. But as Billy Mays would say, I'm not done yet. April saw another event in the Payday world on the 28th, when update 199.3 released for Payday 2 on PC. This was the first of 3 major content updates for Payday 2's Steam version that was made up entirely of free content, adding the legacy tactical outfit from the original Diamond Heist in Payday the Heist, 10 new weapon colours, overhauling the holdout game mode with more maps and much better rewards, adding 2 main menu music tracks and 36 new achievements, and even increasing the skin drop rate from once a week to once a day. There was plenty of new free content to get players excited. I've said it before and I will say it again, to see a game that's only been revived to generate money get such strong free content updates is a very welcome sight to see. And as you'll see as we go through this video, it's a pattern that continues throughout 2020.
Surprise, motherfuckers.
Yeah, May was pretty quiet too. It's not really a shocker considering how much happened in April, but still. The only notable thing was a fix to the Payday 2 game files, which added the Payday 2 soundtrack back into the file directory in players' hard drives, something that was simply removed by accident during update 199.3. Either way, let's advance into June. June 24th saw the launch of another Payday 2 ARG event, this time called Lock Breacher, in which you had to solve a series of computer-based puzzles to reveal the blueprints for the map of the heist for the next DLC update, Breakfast in Tijuana. I will say though, being able to see the different flaws of this heist as well as points of interest, and then also being able to cross-reference it with the teaser screenshots on Steam, was a really enjoyable experience and quite a good reward for the ARG event, and I honestly really hope Overkill does something like this again with a future update, seeing as how no other ARG event since has actually repeated this kind of reward. But once you've seen the blueprints of the map, the only way to go is to play the map itself, and on June 30th, the Silk Road Family Matters update released with 3 new DLC packs: the aforementioned Breakfast in Tijuana heist, the Fugitive Weapon Pack, and the second Weapon Colour Pack. This one saw Almir himself return to the game as Vlad's brother-in-law, although this time his character looked exactly like Almir, and not the way he appeared in White Christmas and Stealing Christmas, and yet the past appearances have still not been changed to account for this. Seriously, Overkill, please update it. It's just weird. You did it for Locke, please do it for Almir. But either way, this provided us with another solid DLC update. This heist is simple yet enjoyable, and we got a new LMG, which, to be fair, is enough to make me very excited anyway. It's Payday 3 time! July was a huge month for the upcoming Payday 2 sequel, as Starbreeze showcased a whole host of information to their investors and shareholders on their website. But if you don't know all the key information, I'm going to break it all down for you right about now. The key facts you need to know are, first off, Payday 3 will release on Steam, Xbox, and PlayStation, although which console generations this includes has not been specified, but my guess is just the Series X and PS5. The game is still currently aimed to be released between 2022 and 2023. It was also additionally confirmed that they were leaving the diesel engine behind, and that Payday 3 will be running on Unreal Engine. And finally, the game has been in full development since October 2019, and more than half of Overkill's game developers are now fully committed to developing the game. These pages, which I covered in the video linked on screen now and in the description, gave us some real reasons to get excited for the next game in the Payday franchise, and I certainly felt very excited reading it through during my recording. What I found very interesting though is that this information didn't really gain a great deal of traction or spread beyond being in my video I released at the time, which to be fair did quite well, but that meant that most players had no idea this information had even released. But that is an issue that was amended in just a few months' time, as you'll soon see. Okay, it's August. It's birthday time for both myself and Payday 2. August 13th, 2020 was the 7th birthday of the game, and so Steam players received a new update adding what might be the most gorgeous heister suit in the game, new gloves, a new weapon colour, a new heist track remixing the traditional happy birthday theme, as well as an overhaul of the mask customization system, and the ability to earn weapon colours from playing both Crime Spree and Holdout. Once again, as with update 199.3, everything in this update was completely free, and for a birthday update, this was very strong. As I said, the suit is gorgeous, and the song that was released, Cake Wish, is one of Gustavo Cuchimio's crowning glories in his Payday 2 repertoire, and it's a song I constantly go back to play in heists to this day. But let's move on now to some more unexpected news in September. Say goodbye to my little friend. September 22nd saw a shock announcement release that Scarface would soon no longer be purchasable on PC, Xbox One, and PS4. Players had up until October 1st to purchase him at a reduced price before they would lose the ability to buy his character pack on the Steam, Microsoft, and PlayStation stores. This was only the character pack and not the heist, meaning that the content you would lose if you didn't buy the pack would be the ability to buy Scarface himself, his little friend's 7.62 assault rifle, his chainsaw melee weapon, and the Kingpin perk deck. While it was never confirmed by Overkill, the removal of this pack no doubt boils down to the termination of a licensing agreement between the owners of the Scarface IP and Overkill Software, and so legally, Overkill had to remove the character from the store to compensate with the end of this agreement. While this news was unexpected and I really wish it hadn't happened, I will give it credit for finally encouraging me to try the Kingpin perk deck, as up until that point, I'd never given it a go. I found it to actually be very effective and well worth the purchase of the pack alone, and honestly one of the best perk decks in the game. Of course, I know this is a massive tease to anyone who didn't end up purchasing the pack, but hopefully thankfully most players were able to buy it before it was removed in the next month of 2020, October. So, do you remember what I said in July about the Payday 3 news and how it didn't really get out very much until a few months later? Well, it's now a few months later. After hitting 100,000 followers on Twitter, the official Payday 2 Twitter account dropped a tweet reconfirming Payday 3, as well as it now being in the design phase and running on Unreal Engine. Interestingly enough, it didn't mention the 2022-2023 release date, instead opting for simply to be confirmed, but it didn't matter. The news was out, apparently for the first time as far as most people were concerned, because social media exploded, and news sites all around the world picked the tweet up and created variations of the same story hundreds of times over. The information that was first released 3 months prior was now completely in the public eye, and now far more Payday 2 players are well aware that the next step in the franchise is fast approaching, with no signs of slowing down anytime soon. Meanwhile, the Xbox One and PlayStation 4 versions of Payday 2 saw the third and final update in 2020 on Halloween of all days, and sadly the pattern of console updates with no new content has continued. The update only has 2 points in its patch notes, both of which link to the Scarface news from September. Scarface's presence and voice lines were removed from the black screens in the game, and he was also removed as an option for your Team AI customization if you didn't purchase his DLC pack before it was taken off the store. This did create a lot of jokes about Overkill not being able to add new content but still be able to remove stuff, but at the end of the day they had to do this by law in order to prevent legal action from the owners of the Scarface IP. But either way, 10 months and 3 content-free updates after the previous content drop for consoles, it's now become very clear that a console update with new content in the form of heists, weapons, or anything else is becoming more and more unlikely. Gores himself hasn't posted in the forum since the last update released, and I've heard nothing from Overkill regarding future content. As sad as it is, it may perhaps be time to accept that additional content updates for Xbox One and PS4 just might never happen. I'm really hoping that I'm wrong on this, but as time passes I'm becoming increasingly confident that this will be the case. Additional events in October included the relaunch of the Payday 2 merch store, adding a bunch of new designs for anyone who wants to represent their favourite heisting game, and then also the shocking and saddening resignation of Starbreeze's CEO Mikhail Nermark, citing personal reasons. He's the man who brought Starbreeze back out of the dark, and I really hope he's been doing well in the first few months since his departure. And as with the other things I've mentioned, if you want to know more information, a link to my video covering this in full detail is on screen now and in the description. As 2020 draws to a close, we kick off November with a developer AMA on Reddit, hosted by Overkill staff members Almir and Elizabeth. The main gist of the AMA was to tease the next update for the game, as well as re-clarify the information dropped regarding Payday 3 earlier in the year. At the same time, however, the ARG event for the next DLC update was released on November 4th, asking you to solve a series of riddles on a new Overkill site designed to imitate the computer of the famous Payday Twitter man. Upon concluding the ARG, a picture of the now iconic undead peacock mask which belongs to Bullock was shown to tease the next and final heist in the Silk Road campaign, Bullock's Mansion. This heist, alongside the Gunslinger weapon pack and the third Tailor pack and weapon color pack, were released as part of the Silk Road Crimson Shore update on November 11th, 2020. But this was not just a simple DLC update, it was Update 200, the one we'd been waiting for a year plus. And what did we get for our wait? Infamy 3.0. The Infamy level cap shot up from 2500 to 500-100, multiplying the max level by 20 to give players plenty more levels to reach as future content releases for the game in 2021 and beyond, as well as giving us rewards for Infamy levels 26 to 65, with the promise of rewards for levels 66 to 100 in a future update. And speaking of which, at the same time it was also confirmed that while the Silk Road campaign had come to an end, more DLC content is on the way in 2021. So I guess we'll have to wait and see what Overkill's plans are for the next slate of updates in Payday 2. It's December, 2020 is almost over and Christmas festivities are in full swing, and for Payday 2, it was time to join in the fun. December 16th, 2020 saw the arrival of the third and final free content update for Payday 2 on PC, this time being our yearly Christmas update, bringing back the decorations and snow from Hoxton Breakout and Breaking Feds, as well as applying new decorations to Bullock's Mansion. Both variants of Haradine's overalls were also added as outfits, 8 masks from Bullock's Mansion can now also be equipped and customized, and Sangrez's mask got the mega treatment in what may be the best mega heister mask in the game, hidden behind a treasure hunt, encouraging you to explore each of the 4 Silk Road heists to find the mask and unlock it in your inventory. This was a vast improvement on the content we received in last year's Christmas update, especially since roughly only half of the update will be removed in January 2021, as opposed to most of last year's update being removed in January of this year. But with the update out and Christmas just around the corner, it was time for everyone to kick back, play some Payday 2, and count down the days to the end of the year. And that is the end of December and the end of Payday Rewind 2020. So as we look back on 2020, I'd say there are definitely highlights and downsides sides to the content we received in the Payday franchise over these past 12 months. While Payday 2 on PC, as expected, got some fantastic free and paid DLC updates, and we got a fair dose of new and interesting Payday 3 information, we didn't get the new publisher announcement for Payday 3 and Payday Crime War as promised, although I think we all know why that was the case, and Payday 2 on Xbox One and PS4 was severely lacking in the field of content updates. Although I really can't say I'm surprised, since Mikhail Nermark did say in December 2019 that updates were no longer guaranteed. But I don't know, I guess I'm just trying my best to be optimistic instead of my traditional hopeful realism. But with all that being said, it's safe to say that we did get some very strong content for Payday 2 this year, and it's been awesome to see it all come out and make videos and stream the content as an Overkill partner. So seriously, thank you all so much for watching in 2020 and for all of your support, however big or small it's been. But now I want to know your thoughts. What was your highlight of Payday in 2020? Is there a particular moment in Payday Rewind that you loved most? Or is there something that I've somehow missed out that you think I should have discussed? Regardless, I really hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please make sure to give the video a thumbs up to show you'd like to see more of this content. If you're new around here, please be sure to subscribe so you never miss any future videos for anything Payday related on all platforms. Make sure to also follow me on Twitch for live streams at twitch.tv/RedArcherLive and on Twitter at @RedArcherLive. Special thanks go to both my channel members and my patrons who've chosen to support me financially, all of which are credited in the outro and description of this video. And if you'd like to support me on either of those platforms, use the links in the description or on screen now. Donations are never expected but are always appreciated and will help support myself and the channel to keep making content for you all. But either way, thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all in 2021 with some more Payday content. Until then, take it easy, and I will see you all in January.